Hello everyone, welcome back to Trading Edge. So in today's video we will discuss about another very important aspect of trading, and that is chart patterns. So before we start, do hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel if you are first time watching my videos. Having said that, let's start. So what are chart patterns? See, chart patterns are the structures that are created by the movement of price. Okay, these are some structural patterns which are created by the buyers and the sellers in the market. Okay, so such kind of structures are known as chart patterns. Okay, these are formed by the buyers and sellers change of the bias. Okay, so there are three types of chart patterns in the market, and these are reversal patterns, continuation patterns, and bilateral patterns. So what are reversal patterns? Reversal patterns are those patterns which changes the direction of a particular trend. Suppose prices were going up continuously towards the upside, so we can say that prices are in a very strong uptrend and demand is overcoming supply very aggressively. Then somehow the bias of the market participants change, and then prices start to form lower high, lower low structure. So we can say that prices now changed its trend from up to down because of the change in the bias of the market participants. So the patterns which are forming during the change in the bias of the buyers and the sellers, such kind of patterns are known as reversal patterns, which are basically changing a particular trend from up to down or down to up. Okay, then next one is continuation pattern. What are continuation patterns? See, continuation patterns are those patterns which are continuing in the particular direction of a trend. Such kind of patterns are formed when suppose a uptrend is going on in the market. Okay, so in this uptrend some price behavior will emerge in these areas. Okay, so the structures that are forming here, which are continuing the overall direction of the market, which is up, such kind of patterns are known as continuation patterns, which helps in continuing the overall trend of the market. Suppose a trend is in going towards the upside, so this kind of patterns form during the continuation of that particular trend, whether it is up or it is down. Okay, so if we find such kind of patterns in a specific and particular area, then we could look for potential trading opportunities to go with the trend or with the flow, which will enhance our risk reward in the markets, and which in turn will increase our profitability. Okay, and the next one is bilateral pattern. So what are bilateral patterns? So bilateral patterns are formed when, see, suppose prices are going up. Okay, such kind of patterns are formed when prices may go up or it can potentially change its trend from up to down. So when bilateral patterns are formed, we can look for trading with the trend and also against the trend. So it helps us to identify where is the best trading opportunity irrespective of the trend of the market. Okay, bilateral patterns are very useful in trading both with the trend and also against the trend. Okay, because we all know prices move in the nature of waves. Okay, so during an uptrend we will find potential selling opportunities also, which are known as pullbacks. In an uptrend we could look for selling opportunities here with the help of bilateral patterns, and then again we could also go with the flow by using such kind of patterns which are formed in a particular area. Okay, so we will dive deep into all of that. Okay, so first we will discuss about reversal patterns. Okay, so see, reversal patterns are those patterns that reverse or change a trend. Okay, as you have already discussed earlier, suppose prices are going towards the upside and it is in a very strong uptrend, then if such kind of patterns are formed, then prices could potentially change its trend from up to down. Such kind of patterns which form as a change in the bias of the market participants are known as reversal patterns. Okay, see, these patterns are created when a stock reaches a particular point where the pressure of either buyers or sellers increases. Okay, for example, see, if prices are going in a very strong uptrend, then a point is reached where buyers are not that aggressive to continue the prices towards the upside. So from here we see a very strong sharp selling momentum which broke the last swing low of the market. So we could now say that at this price areas selling pressure is very strong than the overall demand. That's why prices couldn't continue its upward momentum from this price area and prices fell down aggressively towards the downside. So we could say that in this particular area sellers are very strong, and now if we find such kind of patterns in this particular area, we could confirm our trade and look for potential trend reversal trade setups. Okay, so see some of the structural chart patterns which are called the reversal patterns. Which are those? First one is head and shoulder, then second one is inverse head and shoulder, then double bottom, double top, rising wedge and falling wedge. Okay, so when an inverted and normal head and shoulder forms, we could say that the potential trend of the market which was going up could now change from up to down. And then in case of inverted head and shoulder, suppose a downtrend was already established in the market, and then if we see a inverted head and shoulder pattern, we could say that now market has the greatest potential that it could change its trend from down to up. Okay, so see how an head and shoulder pattern forms. See, prices were in an uptrend, then what happened after this swing high, market couldn't broke the last swing high. Market makes a lower swing high and then breaks the last swing low from where the last important buying happened in the markets. So we could say that now the buying pressure is now getting weaker and it is continuously testing the support area, which is the very important last swing low. And also most importantly, buyers are becoming very weak. How we can say that? Because prices are not being able to continue its upward momentum by breaking the last swing low, the last swing high, and it is now breaking the last important structural swing low. So we could now say that the trend could now change from uptrend to a potential downtrend. Okay, so same is the case with inverted head and shoulders. Suppose prices were in a very strong downtrend and prices, after making lower low pattern, prices couldn't make lower low pattern and it is now making higher low pattern with consistently and continuously testing the resistance zone, which is the last important swing high. So the prices now have the greatest potential that if such kind of pattern is forming after an established downtrend, we could now say that the prices could change its trend from down to up. It has the greatest potential. Okay. And what is a double top and double bottom pattern? See, if prices were in a very strong downtrend, and if we say a double bottom pattern, which is basically sellers not being able to continue the downward momentum by breaking the last swing low, we could say that this prices is very important for the demand side. That's why prices don't have the strength to break the last swing low and continue its downside momentum, and buyers are very strongly and aggressively defending this area. So it has now the greatest potential that it could break through towards the upside after breaking the last important structural swing high. Okay. Same is the case with double top pattern. Suppose an established uptrend is already present in the markets, and then we see a double top pattern. Basically it is showing us exhaustion of the buying side, because after this swing low, prices couldn't make a new swing high in the markets, which is an indication that the buyers are losing momentum, because prices were in a very strong uptrend, but now buyers are not able to push through and break the last important structural swing high, which is an indication that sellers are very strong at this price area. So now it is the greatest potential that prices now could change its trend from up to down. Okay. Next is rising wedge pattern. So what is a rising wedge pattern? See, a rising wedge pattern is kind of a complex reversal pattern. Why? Because in rising wedge pattern, prices are continuously making higher high and higher low pattern. Okay. See, prices are continuously making higher lows and higher highs. But what is happening in rising wedge pattern is the highs that are forming in the market are not that good, or they are not that aggressive. The highs which are forming in the market are very weak. So it is an indication that the buying pressure is getting weaker in the market. Okay. Otherwise, if the buying pressure was very strong, then prices could have continued its momentum like this. But prices are making higher lows and higher high, but the buying pressure is getting weaker. The buying momentum is getting weaker. So after forming this kind of pattern in an established uptrend, where it is already showing that buyers are losing momentum in the markets, the prices now could move towards the downside after breakout of this pattern, or it has the greatest potential. Okay. Now what is a falling wedge pattern? Same. Prices are continuously making lower high and lower low, but what is happening is the lower lows which are forming in the market, it is getting a little bit of weak. Why? Because the lower lows are forming, but it is not that aggressive. Okay, the distance between the lower lows are getting shorter, which is an indication that selling momentum is getting exhausted in the markets, and buyers are gaining strength in the market after an overall established downtrend. If this kind of pattern is forming where the selling momentum is getting weaker and prices are contracting like this, if breakout happens, we could now say that it has the greatest potential that prices now could move towards the upside. Okay, so now let's look at double top and double bottom patterns, how to trade it with various examples. We will dive deep in double tops and double bottoms. Okay, prices here in this example were in a very strong uptrend, but after forming a double top pattern, prices change its trend from up to down. How? See, prices were making continuously higher high and higher low pattern, but what is happening here? See, after this swing low, prices are not able to continue its upward momentum by breaking the last important swing high, and it is consolidating. Okay, it is continuously consolidating, and then we saw a very good strong momentum candle towards the downside, which broke the last important swing low. So we could say that prices were in an uptrend, but what is happening after this swing high, prices couldn't break through towards the upside, and it was consolidating below the resistance zone, and most importantly, see these candles. It was showing rejection at the top. Okay, so you should always combine multiple factors. Prices were in an uptrend, but after this swing low, prices couldn't break through towards the upside, and it was consolidating below this important resistance zone, and also we saw rejection candles at the resistance zone, and then prices broke through towards the downside with very strong downside momentum candle. So it is now confirmed that prices now could move towards the downside after forming a double top, and also by analyzing the price behavior. So we will enter short here with stop loss just below this swing high and see the huge downside momentum after that. Okay, so now let's look at another example. See, prices were in a very strong downtrend, but what is happening here? Prices after this swing low, prices couldn't continue its downside momentum by breaking the last important swing low, and we saw a bullish engulfing pattern also here. Okay, and also the selling momentum was getting weaker. See this selling momentum, it was very strong selling, but next time the selling momentum was getting weaker, and it was also very weak than the previous selling. Okay, and then we saw a double bottom pattern, and then we saw a bullish engulfing pattern. So there are multiple confirmations, and then we saw a breakout of the last swing high. So we'll enter here with stop loss just below this swing low and see the huge upside movement after that. Okay, so now let's look at another example. See, downtrend, double bottom, broke the last important swing high, enter, stop loss, see the huge upside momentum after that, and also see the rejection candles here, see the huge selling pressure here, but now second time the selling pressure is very weak, and then we saw double bottom pattern formation, rejection candles, then structural breakout which broke the last important swing high, from where the last selling came, which couldn't broke the last swing low. Buy, stop loss, see the upside momentum after that. See, downtrend, see from here a strong buying previously came in the markets, and market again open gap down, but still sellers couldn't break this important swing low. Okay, so this is an indication that sellers are getting exhausted in the markets after a strong buying momentum after gap down. Prices couldn't break the last swing low and continue its downward momentum, so a double bottom formation is happening here, and prices broke out the last important swing high with very good candle, buy, stop loss, see the huge upside momentum after that. See, proper uptrend, double top pattern, breakout of the last swing high, enter, stop loss, see the huge downside momentum after that. And also see here, from here prices gapped up. Okay, after gapping up, prices continued its upward momentum, but from here sharp selling in the markets we saw for the first time in this uptrend. Okay, so this is an indication that from here there is a strong supply present. Okay, so after taking support at these areas, buyers again tried to push the prices towards the upside but couldn't, broke the last swing high. So it is an indication that the sellers here are very very powerful. The sellers here are very very powerful. That's why prices couldn't break the last important swing high. Okay, and again prices gapped down and with very very strong candle broke the last important swing low from where a sharp buying momentum previously came. So this is an indication that now sellers are very very strong at these prices and they would want to push the prices towards the downside. So we would go with the flow and enter here with stop loss just above the breakdown candle and see the downside momentum after that. See, proper uptrend, double top, broke the last swing low, sell, stop loss, see the huge downside momentum after that. And what is happening here, we also saw a fake out. So this is an indication that the breakdown would now succeed because it faked out and we saw a multiple retest of the support zones after forming a double top pattern and prices broke down, then took a retest. We will enter here and see the huge downside movement after that. So there are multiple confirmations. First, prices couldn't continue its upward momentum after this swing high, then we saw a fake out, then strong selling momentum which is continuously testing the support area. Now the support is getting weaker because prices after pulling back to this last important swing low couldn't break towards the upside, and at the top we saw a 2-bar reversal pattern which was a fake out, then strong selling momentum, then broke this important swing low, enter, SL, see the huge downside momentum after that. See how beautifully it works. See, proper uptrend, double top, entry, SL, see the downside momentum after that. And here see strong buying momentum, then prices took a pullback at here, but after this pullback prices couldn't continue its upward momentum by breaking the last swing high. Okay, the first time buying was very very strong, but the second time buying was weak, and also we saw many rejection candles here. See hanging man, shooting star. So after breaking this important structural swing high, so there are multiple confirmations here that first time buying was stronger, selling was weaker, but now the buying is getting weaker with multiple rejection candles forming after breaking out this important structural resistance zone. So which is an indication that buyers are now getting exhausted in this overall uptrend and we could now look for potential selling opportunities in the markets. Okay, so enter here, see the strong downside momentum candle, so which is an indication that sellers are very very strong at this price area. Enter, SL, see the downside momentum after that. See proper downtrend, double bottom pattern, broke structure, enter, SL, see the huge upside momentum after that. Okay, so you should always combine multiple factors before taking an entry. See, market gap down, but from here prices moved up aggressively towards the upside. See this huge gap up, which is an indication that demand is very strong than the supply at this price area. Okay, then what happened? Then again sellers push the prices towards the downside. Okay, with very strong momentum also. But what is happening, even after gap down, prices couldn't continue its downward momentum, and again buyers push the prices back into the range, which is an indication that buyers are still very strong than the supply at this price area. Okay, so after gapping down also, prices couldn't continue its downward momentum, and buyers defended this level very aggressively, and again they pushed the prices towards the upside. Now what is happening? See, higher low formation. Okay, prices were in a downtrend, but now after this gap down, prices are forming higher low formation, which is continuously testing the resistance zone, and this is a very strong trend line also. So prices, what did it do? It broke structure, trend line also breakout, buy here, SL. See the huge upside momentum after that. See here, downtrend. Okay, double bottom formation. Also prices were continuously making higher low formation, weak selling momentum. After a strong selling momentum, we saw a weak selling momentum from the same area. Okay, so it is an indication the sellers are getting exhausted at this resistance zone, and also prices are making higher low formation, and then we saw a very strong breakout candle. So enter SL. See the huge upside momentum after that, and also here the resistance is getting tested multiple times. Okay, so which is an indication that even after testing the resistance zone multiple times, sellers were not able to continue the prices towards the downside after breaking the last important swing low. Okay, so there are multiple factors. You should always combine multiple factors before taking an entry in the markets. Okay, so if you haven't watched my market structure and trend analysis videos, you should definitely watch that. You will gain a lot of knowledge from there, so I do recommend that. See, strong buying momentum, double top, breakdown, sell, entry. See the huge downside momentum after that. Okay, see, you should always combine multiple factors. This was a very strong resistance zone. Okay, this was a very strong buying momentum in the markets. Okay, then prices took a pullback. So after taking a pullback, if buyers are very strong at this price area, they should have again aggressively pushed the prices towards the upside after breaking the last important swing high. But what did it do? After a pullback, prices couldn't break this last swing high and continue its upward momentum. Okay, then we saw a bearish engulfing pattern at the resistance zone where supply is very strong than the demand side. Otherwise, if buyers are very strong, then they should have broke this level and continue its upward momentum. Because the sellers are very strong at these areas, even after strong buying momentum and a pullback, prices couldn't break through towards the upside, and then we saw a bearish engulfing pattern, which is an indication that sellers are very strong in this area. Okay, and then prices broke this last swing low with strong downward momentum candle. So we will enter here, stop loss here. See the huge downside momentum after that. Okay, so I hope you got something very important learning from this video. If you found it useful, do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and also do comment down below if you have any queries related to this video. I will definitely try to answer each and every of your questions there. So see you in the next video. Until then, it's bye from my side. Take care everyone. Bye.